The European Union's mask has well and truly slipped to reveal the snarling face of a tinpot dictatorship intent on removing bodily autonomy and personal freedoms. The unelected EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has gone from suggesting that they should think the unthinkable when it comes to compulsory vaccines to saying that mandatory vaccinations should actively be encouraged. This is the woman who completely messed up her continent's vaccine procurement process and tried to steal some of our vaccines. She's also the same lady who, as German Defence Minister, made her troops train with broomsticks to hide the fact that they didn't actually have enough guns. I think it's important to expose what's happening right now, right across the continent, because when you see it all stitched together like a patchwork quilt of misery, it's quite shocking. Germany is banning the unvaccinated from public life and imposing mandatory jabs from February, despite having more than 80% of the adult population already vaccinated. There are school closures and a ban on private meetings. Austria's lockdown has officially been extended until December the 11th, as planned. Yes, that's right, they'd already planned the extension of the lockdown from the day that they imposed it. Only essential shops are open and they close at 7 p.m, and yet again, vaccines are compulsory from February. In Greece, ironically the birthplace of democracy, lawmakers approved mandatory COVID-19 vaccinations for people over 60. And if they don't get the vaccine by the 16th of January, they risk being fined €100 every month until they do. France is toughening its conditions of entry, which is funny because they're certainly not toughening their conditions of exit, are they, given what's happening in the Channel. From Saturday, all arrivals from non-EU countries will have to provide a negative COVID test carried out within the previous 48 hours, even if they've been vaccinated. From the 15th of Jan, all adults will need a booster jab at least 7 months after they begin their full vaccination. So basically, this is only if they want to keep their health passes and be able to go about their daily lives. Sinister stuff. Belgium has closed nightclubs and requires people to work from home. Events held indoors must be seated, and private meetings, besides weddings and funerals, are banned. The Czech Republic declared a 30-day state of emergency on Friday. What happens during a state of emergency? Well, basically, it gives the government carte blanche to do extreme things. What they've also done is close all the Christmas markets across the country, and people will not be allowed to drink alcohol in public places. Slovakia declared a 90-day state of emergency and a 2-week lockdown. The Italian government on Wednesday decided to exclude unvaccinated people from certain leisure activities, but get this, if you want to go to an indoor restaurant, the cinema, or attend a sporting event, even testing negative for coronavirus isn't enough to get you in. So not actually having the coronavirus isn't enough to allow you to go about your daily lives. It's almost like it's not really about COVID, isn't it? A new government decree also made vaccinations mandatory for law enforcement, military, and all school employees as well as medical workers. The mandatory vaccination stuff is all a bit weird, because yesterday I had virologist Professor Lawrence Young from the University of Warwick on, and when he was asked about whether or not there is any evidence whatsoever that unvaccinated people are contributing to the spread of coronavirus, he had this to say.
I don't think there is any evidence about that.
So no evidence. No evidence that the unvaccinated are contributing to the spread of coronavirus. OK, then. Oh, and just to round it off, Dutch police opened fire at anti-lockdown protesters. Yeah. On the homepage of the European Union's website, it says one of its key missions is protecting citizens and their freedoms. Well, no, it isn't. It appears to me that right now its key mission is control. Control over what its citizens put inside their bodies, control of their day-to-day lives, controlling their movements, controlling their routines, all in the name of suppressing a virus whose vaccine they didn't initially procure and then publicly criticise, in the face of a new variant which, as yet, is regarded as being very mild. How's that campaign for a second referendum coming along?